Hello uncles and aunties. So I am following a tutorial series of modeling a donut. Then I have the main body of the donut that I want to paint a stripe of lighter color at the middle of the ring like this. And I want to do that by assigning an image as image texture to it. The image can be edited or painted so that when I wrap it onto the donut, I would have the lighter color stripe as I wanted. That's quite straightforward to me at first, until I come across with my misconfiguration. So this is how I face and solve the problem. First, I start by clicking on the donut. Isolate it by Shift-H, which will hide everything else. On the Properties panel, under Material tab, I click on the base color and select Image Texture. Then click New to create a new image. I give it a meaningful name, for example, Donut Brown. At the Color option, I raise the value bar to full and choose a shade of brown to my liking like this. Then hit New Image. Boom! There I have my brand new, unpainted image texture. Then on the Workspace, Texture Paint tab, I see my donut again with its unwrapped outer shell on the left, where I can brush either one of them, and the change is also applied to the other, except that nothing happens whatsoever. As you can see, no matter how many ways I try, the texture paintbrush takes no effect on my donut. Then I start fumbling with these options, changing this, and that, and this, but it won't help. I then try checking the normal vectors of the faces by zooming until my view is inside of the body, and brushing the inner faces doesn't have any effect neither. By the way, if this was the case that the normal vectors are pointing inside, which did not happen in this case, please find the fix in other videos. Anyway, because that's not the reason, I go ahead and check the UV editing in the Workspace tabs to manually unwrap my texture image from the donut. On the right window, I mark a seam for unwrapping by pressing Alt and clicking an edge. Then press Ctrl-E, select Mark Seam. I do similarly for the other seam. After that, I press U and select Unwrap. The left window shows the unwrapped texture image of the donut, but again the texture paintbrush still refuses to work. Starting to feel desperate, I ask for help from ChatGPT, and it suggests me this intimidating looking flowchart or diagram or whatever it is with output of a box feeding to input of another. I follow anyway and carefully checking according to its verbal instructions. And of course, no problem with that neither. After a handful of debugging hours with countless attempts, I end up with joining a community forum, finding the same guy having the same problem as I do. The problem turns out to be with the Texture tab at the Properties panel. So as you can see under that Texture tab, there is a texture automatically assigned to my brush. So let's remove it. And ta-da! Look at that! The texture paintbrush is finally working. I can now choose a lighter yellow and brush the middle ring of my donut. So I brush and rotate and brush. And rotate, and brush. And rotate, and brush. And rotate, and brush. And adjust. Wow, that looks yum already. One thing to note, saving the project will not save the texture image that I have just painted. Instead, it is saved by clicking the image here, then select Save. Like so. Finally, I turn everything else visible again just to enjoy the result after all that hassle. Bonus. Previously, in the Texture tab of the Properties panel, the texture of the brush was set of type image or movie. I guess it means when I brush to the donut, the brush stroke will have the appearance of the content of the image I set to this texture field. So just out of curiosity, I assign an image of the space and try it out, and the result is similar to what I predicted. That leads us to the end of this video. I am Beanie from Free Wing Studio. Thanks for watching and please drop a like as well as consider subscribing. Bye bye for now.